And there's so much power there because you can really customize the experience for your clients.
I don't want to stop your role though. So if you've got new stuff that you want to tell us, go for it, man.
Yeah, the booth is busy. We're humming right along here. So if you can't hear me, let me know, and I can jump out of our booth and go to a quieter place.
Yeah, so far so good, man. It's great. So the show's been good for you?
It has been, yeah. Now I will say, this show, and I'm going to move a little bit here to kind of show you what's going on. It's not as busy as it's been before. There's a lot of empty spaces. So you can see over here, they've got an empty space. They've got a lot of tables set up and stuff like that. We're not seeing the volume we were before, but our booth is still pretty busy. We've got a lot of people wanting to switch over. We got a lot of people that are just starting out that are finding us and finding that we have about the best deal out there. So.
Right. Yeah. I've had reporters out there, and we've been seeing a lot of the traffic live and stuff like that this week. So yeah, compared to the other shows that I've been at, it's a little down. But on the other hand, for companies like yours, it's a good thing because you get more time to talk to people. You're not overloaded, and you can have really important discussions.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we don't really like to do a lot of support here at the show, but sometimes making the customer happy is definitely something we want to do, and so we'll take the extra effort and do that. So we had the time this year for sure. So
right. I was just going through the Inflatable Office website, and there's so much stuff that I obviously my interest is always in the front end on the websites, but I think it's time we start getting educated on everything that you guys have.
Oh boy, everything, Dave. How much time do you have?
Yeah. Well, it's time though,
Let me give you like the high points. First of all, I want to just bring this up before we get too far. We have some crazy show specials. So we're offering 6 months free when you pay for 6 months. You got to do it this week, okay? That's our show special. If you're not at the show and you don't have any of our flyers, we can get you that link. The link is on our flyers. It's a QR code. Everybody's using QR codes these days after COVID, right?
Yeah.
So we did too. We wanted to fit in. But so that's the big thing that's going on here as far as show specials go. We have done a ton of work on a lot of different areas of our software. If you don't know, if you've never looked at us in the recent years, we've rebuilt the entire thing from the ground up, basically. And we call it our Office Upgrade version. And it's done, what we were able to do when you do that is you take all these things that you learned over the past and you're able to fix them all in one shot. And we did that making a product that is way, way easier to use. It's very uniform. So if you learn how to do one thing, you can do that thing anywhere in our software.
Yep.
So that's really nice. We've spent a ton of time on our phone product. We're the only place out there that I know of, even outside of our industry, there's not many people doing that. We basically build a Ring Central style phone platform inside of our product. And what we're seeing, we thought originally this would be something that the big companies would go for. We're seeing a ton of the little guys going for this, right? Because everybody needs a business number. Everybody wants to have that number coming into their phone. It's really convenient when it rings the same device that you're using for your personal calls, but you can tell the difference between the two. We've done a ton of stuff with transferring on that. By bringing it into our platform, we're able to do some crazy stuff. Like if it's the day of the delivery and someone calls in, we can reroute that call to the delivery driver. Really cool stuff that you can't do even with a Ring Central style platform, right?
I've been watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do texting. And when you start to combine that with some of the other things we offer, like our sales and CRM module, we're able to track all of those calls, missed calls, voicemails, all that shows up right there whenever you're looking at a customer. So you can quickly and easily see what activity's been going on, what's happened in the past. You don't have to remember all that stuff anymore, right? You take that and combine it with our automations and our ability to filter and find things. You can have different triggers that will then cause automated text to go out. It's really cool stuff. We even use that for our weather alert system. So if you're gonna, if you guys don't know this, we actually monitor weather stations wherever events are. And if you hit thresholds on wind speeds, and those thresholds are set by you, we can automated call, automated text, with messages to the customer or to your workers, and let them know that they need to take action because you're hitting some dangerous wind speeds. So that's just a few of the things that. Is there anything there you want to go a little deeper into before I talk more?
That's okay. It's I can see the excitement, and we've been watching the growth, and we've been really excited about the future of Inflatable Office just from our standpoint, because it's the new interface has been great for us. As far as, it's like you say, if you know how to do one thing, you can do it anywhere else, and it's been really easy for us to get around back there and help your clients out. We just met, we did an interview this morning with Big Bounce Funhouse, Susan Lorimer and Andy, and they're using your platform, and they're really excited about the whole situation and their new website and whatnot.
Yeah, I think you're selling yourself short a little bit there, Dave. Like, you're one of the web developers that really knows how to use our system. There's not a lot of them out there. I mean, you even have, and I don't know if you've used this too much, but you have a white label version of our software, if you recall.
I was just going to talk to you about that, because, I've got some newbies that work for me as well. And I think that what we would like to do is expand our IO capabilities. And I'm thinking about having Joseph actually spend some time with your guys and learn more about the back end. Because one of the things that we've found with using software like this is that, there's part of it that, well, it's not my job, right? But you never want to say that to a client. You want to know what's going on, and you want to help direct them on stuff. And I think that if we could expand our knowledge base on the non-usual areas that we deal with Inflatable Office, I think it will be better for the customers, so that, because we always do training with people and things like that. And we want to be able to answer those questions. And I'm sure I don't think it's possible for us to know everything there is to know about IO, especially at my age. It's old dog, new tricks kind of a thing, so. But I do have my guys are really excited about it. And I know Juan, our head programmer, has been spending a lot of time with Joel, and we're in the process right now of using your API to develop some new tricks that we can do for the web presentations.
That's great. Yeah, we are totally into working through that with you. I mean, you're probably you're definitely the only web developer that I know that actually relies on our API and uses that. And there's so much power there, because you can really customize the experience for your clients within our software and within the website. And so I love that you've taken advantage of that. That's why we did that. We wanted people like yourself to be able to build upon our platform and do amazing things that maybe we hadn't thought of, or maybe we do, just because of our focus was not always on the website, right? And you've pushed us a lot on those sort of things. And I think, just with the work we've done with the WordPress side and the optional fields, and allowing you to really have that customization and flexibility to build your customers really beautiful sites. I just love the partnership, and I hope to always continue doing it. So
that's the plan, and we're looking forward to expanding it. I don't want to stop your role, though. So if you've got new stuff that you want to tell us, go for it, man. Because I've got a ton of questions, but I want you to get out the stuff that you need to talk about company-wide.
Yeah. But let me give you a few more things, and I want to focus a little bit on the future here. So one of the things that's the best about our software and our company is that we are still run by the same people, the founders. We still have a great passion. We're still,
don't get me started.
We're here every day. Okay,
yeah.
We're working we're in the trenches. We're answering phone calls and everything else. So I get excited about the future when I talk about this sort of thing. So one of the things that we're doing right now, everybody knows our delivery planner is like the best delivery planner out there, with the drag and drop, the real-time calculation of the travel times and so forth. And what we're doing now is we're rebuilding that delivery planner. We're fixing all the things that weren't quite right, weren't perfect. We're making it possible for you to run 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks to the same event, as many as you want. And we're going to keep track of all that. After that delivery, and we're doing a ton with staffing when it comes to the delivery planner as well. We're even letting you do like staffed event stuff in there. We're letting you do stuff with pickups too, to kind of manage your pickups using that delivery planner style scheduling, which is really cool. As that's finishing, we're going into some work with a worker app that we started. We got delayed because of some things with the new office upgrade. We needed to improve and add to for our users that were migrating because they had a little trouble migrating at first. So a worker app is coming out. That's going to be very QR code centric, where you're able to label your items in your warehouse, scan those with your phone. It opens our app and shows you where it's been, where it's going, anything that needs done with it. It's going to be very worker centric. So we're not giving a place where you can go through menu items and find what you need. What we're doing is we're saying when someone logs in, we know what that person's job is. We know what their next thing is they have to do. We know what they need to think about. And we're going to bring that to the forefront of their phone screen, and we're going to let them work through those things. Using that to then track deliveries and get customer information, like Domino's, right? Domino's tells you when your pizza's getting made and when it's going to show up at the door and stuff like that. We're going to get into all of that stuff with our new worker app. So I'm really excited about doing that. We also have this really cool thing that we're going to be doing where we're going to extend our filters. And maybe some of you aren't going to get excited about this like me, but we're extending our filters into pricing and promotions and a lot of other areas. I love that because what that does is it makes our software so incredibly powerful and customizable. So if you don't know about filters, learn about filters inside of our software. Those are the things that collect different leads and customers, and then they're the trigger that can cause different events to happen, like a lot of different automated things like texting and changing things on leads and so forth. So we've got a great outlook, some really great ideas. The other thing we're going to get into, and I try not to talk too much about this because I don't want everybody else to try to duplicate me, but we're redesigning the entire checkout experience with InflatableOffice. So Dave, we're going to work a lot with you on this probably.
That's great.
And make sure that your customers are getting a chance to take advantage of all this. Our checkout experience is great, but you know what? It hasn't been overhauled in years. So we want to do a lot of work with that. We're going to make that experience a lot quicker for the customer. We want to bring in things like Apple Pay. We want to make that experience something that is great for the company as you're trying to upsell and get people to go for more stuff. Our system knows when something's available. Why not offer a second day for a discounted price when that occurs, right? Let's see what we can do to help increase the ticket sale on every one of those orders. We have a ton of ideas. I don't want to get into them too much because I don't want to get duplicated, but let me just tell you, it's going to be a big focus. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all of those ideas and we're going to separate them out. And we're going to track what they do for your business because we want you to be able to see the percentage increase that we're going to get you just by using our software. We want you to be able to share that across the internet and let everybody know that InflatableOffice is the one that's helping you make more money.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And just recently, the integrations that you're doing, like, I mean, just the things that you're doing with the Google tracking and stuff like that, things that we normally would be fairly labor intensive trying to get everything, organized and stuff. I just found out that, click and boom, it's done on the website. It's just fabulous. Let me ask you this, unless there was something else, if I'm not cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
And one of the things that I've always found confusing to me in terms of the way that, of course, this goes over time, so forgive me, is are your clients, what's the ratio of clients that are tracking when they are tracking their conversions on the website? Are they tracking more the quote or the actual final conversion? How do you differentiate that, and what are people looking for more?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you first and foremost that people do not track that stuff well enough. There are only a few customers of ours that pay attention to that stuff. That stuff's really important, right?
Yeah.
You want to know if people are getting to your site, and you want to get that visibility. And that seems to be the thing that people care about most. Like, am I getting found? Yes, that is important, but that's only the first step, right? You have to not only get found, but then you have to convince that person to go ahead and submit some sort of information to you so you can capture it and then start to work with them. Mm-hmm. But beyond, you want them to actually go through and complete the process of checking out, right? That's the conversion.
Exactly.
When they go out their card and they give you that money. And that's what matters to you most. If you get 100 people there and nobody converts, you would have been better getting 10 people and have one person convert, right? So that's so important. And I'm glad you brought that up. And I think we have a website funnel chart that we give people by default in our system that kind of shows them those different steps and how that's working for their company. And I mean, we do this for our company. In fact, Joel the other day sent me an email saying, hey, this is our funnel right now, and this is what it looks like, and it looks really good, but there's these different areas here that I think if we focused on them, we can make the biggest improvement, right? And it's different for everybody. So knowing how to look at that is so important. Make sure you're using that chart on the dashboard. Make sure that you're working with someone like Dave to make sure that you have your Google Analytics stuff set up so you can look at those funnels and make sure that you're getting people to that conversion time.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more critical, especially in the last 2 years, because I think a lot of owners, your customers, but I call them the owners, they lose the idea that first of all, the search has changed. And I did another interview earlier this week with another developer, and we were talking about this report that came out about how people use the Google search page. And really, to be honest with people, the majority of clicks happen in the top 2/3 of the search page, and that doesn't mean organic searches. That is right. Google AdWords and Google the map or Google My Business. So when you look at that, and the other amazing statistic is that they're making their choice on that search within 9 seconds.
Wow.
And it happens fast. The Google Ads presentations are so much better than the organic results, and everything is about in our industry is about the local search. So that becomes really critical to people. And the idea of understanding what's tracking and what is converting on the website becomes a critical metric. The other thing that we look at when we're having these discussions, because obviously as a developer, they come to me and they say, how come I'm not making any money? And the first thing I say, well, let's go look at what's going on. And the idea of being able to look at those reports in their analytics or even on your dashboard for some of your stuff, it tells the story for us as developers where the problem areas are. And so when we look at that, and we look at like time on site or number of pages or bounce rate and things of that nature, it allows us to give them a strategy for what needs to be done to make improvements for conversion. And I think that a lot of people over the years have gotten so locked into this, I got to get my SEO, I got to get my SEO, I got to get my SEO. And to be honest with you, it's becoming far less important. And the idea of social media, they have to start including Google My Business as their primary, social media, because Google has just made all kinds of tools available there. And now, if you're not spending more time with Google My Business rather than Facebook or Instagram, you're missing the boat, because that's where the majority of the traffic is going to be coming from. And so that's why I look to what's going on here with you guys, because I want to be able to have those discussions with my clients and give them strategies for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And, it's always a multi-pronged attack, right? You want to do a lot of everything, right? But if you're going to focus on one thing, anybody searching Google is going to find you through Google My Business. That's usually where they're going to find you, or they're going to find your competitor, one of the two.
Right.
And you find you. So you're right. I tell people first thing, like, hey, fill out that. If you haven't claimed your business, claim it. Fill it out. Make sure that profile says it's 100% complete. And then after that, you keep pushing stuff into there. Push pictures up there. Push posts up there. Do a lot of work with reviews. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but we did a thing with reviews where we're sending this email out and they can click a star rating in the email. Okay. So it influences people to go ahead and click it, because they don't think, oh, I have to go and take a long survey. So when they click that, you can set it up to say, hey, if it's a 4-star, 5-star click, then I want it to go right to my Google business reviews so they can leave a review. So we have that set up. We also have it set up to where you can text out a link that'll do that. A lot of people aren't checking their emails. So if you can text this link out post-event or during event, that gives them that option to click there. It takes them to this web page again. It just shows stars on there and says rate us. When they click that, then we can decide where to send them. And of course, if they click a bad, low star rating, we can send them to our internal reviews. That way you can still deal with it and help that customer out and make sure they're satisfied next time. But you got to be doing stuff like you got to fill that Google page in, because you're right, Dave. SEO is less important these days. Organic searches are lower. Now, I still think Google uses that SEO organic information to help rank those Google My Business pages.
Oh, sure, they do. Yep.
I don't think that it's not valuable, but it isn't as valuable as it used to be.
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing that you brought up was the reviews. And I think that's one thing that Inflatable Office does really well is the areas of the website, the front end of the website, that are just automatically generated. So it's very easy for us. And then we've had problems with this on other platforms when they do those internal surveys and stuff like that. That becomes critical. And one of the things, like we've got a couple of apps that we have started, including, for platform users like IO or the other ones, where it's automatically generating conditions on the actual product pages, because that's like your last defense, right? Is like, they're on the product page, let's get them to hit add to cart, right? So at that point, we've got our app that has the Google reviews, and it's all automatic. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to manipulate it. It's like boom, 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 right?
Talking about social proof, right? Social proof.
And that's it. It's like, we trust these guys. You should too. Hit the add to cart button. You know?
Yeah. Are you doing the pop-ups in the corner that do that too? I know some people are doing that, where they throw a pop-up in there that says like so-and-so just rented, or yesterday so-and-so booked an event.
Yeah, that's our conversion slider. We've got that too. Yeah.
Awesome. You want that stuff happening on your website to try to show people. We're not trying to manipulate people, right? We want to show people that you're good at what you do, and they're going to have a good experience with you. And
I think the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, my focus for this IAAPA has been new people, coming into the industry, because we get a whole ton of new people every year. And then the same amount of people bail out every year because they can't get through that first year or two in business. And it's very difficult. And I know that you guys offer and I don't want to speak out of turn, but you have some free website templates that if they sign up for IO, they can get them, right? And I think the important thing is that that's a great starting point for somebody that's new to the business, but it's not the end point, because I believe you guys are building those templates in WordPress on the Elementor system. And one of the things that we've been trying to get through to people, because they always come to me and they say, well, how much is it going to cost me to get a new website, right? Well, it depends how deep you want to get into the weeds, because we have the ability to go, full boat, do a complete, brand new website with people, or we can take that template that you've got, you can get it for free from IO, just sign up and get started, get a good platform to have a solid foundation. And then we can go in a la carte. We can have a fancy custom header. We can do a custom footer. We can put custom elements in it, but they can do that a la carte. As they start to grow, they can grow the site without having to do a complete makeover every time they want to have a new fresh face. And I think that's the great thing about IO, is that it's really easy to do that stuff. And it's cost effective for us, and it's cost effective for your customers.
Well, for a long time, Dave, we focused almost exclusively on the large companies, and that's why we have so many large companies working with us. That's why we have so many features, because that's what they need. Mm-hmm. But over the years, we've really said, you know what, to extend our market, let's work with these new guys. Let's work a lot more with these new people. And we've always had this starter package, which is really cheap. In fact, our starter software package is free. There's no charge for it. Yeah. No one else is doing that. We do that because we can help you grow, and when you grow, you're going to reward us by paying us for the next plan up, right? But we've also now got it to the point, and Dave brought this up, where we're generating WordPress websites for free. Okay, it's a perfect thing for someone who's new, who's trying to get into it and get started, and isn't ready to pay someone like Dave to do something amazing, right? But let me just tell you, I know you guys are willing to go out and spend $2,000 on a bounce house, and you're willing to go spend $2,000 on a
right.
my goodness, your website is probably one of the most important things you can do. Okay, so spend the money on your website. You will not regret it. Spend
It's all about the return.
$5,000.
Yeah, it's about the return on the investment.
That's right. You know, a $5,000 spend on the website seems like a big deal, but you're going to get so much more back from it. You know, you're not going to get that from your dolly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're
yeah.
As much from your bounce house. All right. You might not even get your bounce house rented if you don't spend money on a website. So
Precisely.
you get stuff for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, the big thing is that when we talk to people about this stuff, and we talk about they have a hard time, especially if they're new to the industry, they have a hard time equating, you know, those dollars and cents to, man, that's a lot of money. And I can just get, you know, a little website, you know, on Wix or something like that and have a form and I'm in business. But that's not the case, because when we sit down, we continue on and we do consultations with our clients after the fact. It's not just a website, it's a process. And we can show them in their reporting how these changes make a difference, right? If you don't organize your navigation right, you're going to have a low page per session count. If you don't have good product descriptions, you're going to have a low time per session in count. If you don't have your homepage organized correctly, you're going to have a high bounce rate. And all three of those metrics are directly related to their conversion rate. And so it's very easy to show them. If I tell them all the time, if you do make the effort or make the investment, we can show you how you get paid back for that. For if it's your time at just doing better, you know, product descriptions or something like that, you get paid for that time, because you can go back and you can see the conversion rate go up right after you do the work. And it's not like SEO where you got to wait, you know, weeks and months, right, you know, for it to take effect. Whatever you do to benefit conversion happens tomorrow. And that means that you make more money tomorrow. So if you've got a website that's not converting well, you know, you may be at 1.5% conversion rate. But if we can take that to 3 or 4.5% conversion rate, all of a sudden they're making 4 times the money, and they didn't do anything but just do the elbow grease to make sure they got the proper information on the site. And that's what makes it nice about this situation now with the Elementor editor. It's easy for them to edit. They can go in. Anything that they change on IO automatically comes back up onto the website. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. I mean, we use WordPress for a reason. They're used by 35% of the internet. You know, by us giving you a WordPress site, you are already, you know, going to be well searched by Google. Google loves WordPress. You know, WordPress wouldn't get on as far as they did if they didn't play well with everything else, right? In addition, you have tons of developers working on plugins that you can add to your WordPress site. And like Dave said, we give you a license of Elementor when you go with us. Same thing as if Dave's working on a site with us, he's got access to that as well. And Elementor is just an amazing product for WordPress.
Absolutely.
It's making it almost like you're in Microsoft Word. You're dragging things around, you're dropping them in. You're doing pretty high level stuff. And you don't really have to know that much, to tell you the truth.
Right.
And you get that license from us because we pay Elementor a lot of money to let you guys have that. So
do we. We do the free subscriptions for Elementor that I just paid my bill just last month. So yeah, it's pricey. The other thing too that I don't think people realize about your websites that is really great are you have some additional plugins that you include in that package when you load your sites up that are really great. And the issue before, you know, a lot of people will talk about WordPress. Well, it's this and it's that. Well, you know, if you bypass all the WordPress junk and you're using the Elementor platform, all that goes away. And so now, and Elementor they just had their 2021 developers review. I don't know if you follow those kind of things, but the new stuff that they're coming out with and all these extra features and stuff. And I think that you guys include Elementor Pro in your license, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
So all of that stuff gets automatically updated. So don't be surprised if you come back and you're working on your site one day and all of a sudden you see these new elements pop up that, you know, you can do. Just pop-ups for one. I mean, they got that pop-up builder in Elementor now that you can just do whatever you want. You can set the parameters for it and all that kind of stuff. It's really exciting.
Yeah, and you know what? I just did a recent video on our YouTube channel about this. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Dave, or not, but if you look in our website playlist, it's one of the more recent ones, one of the more recent videos in there. I go through how to use Elementor within our platform to set up any form and basically push data into your Inflatable Office account. Mm-hmm. I was showing you how to do it because honestly, I was setting it up for us. So for this trade show in preparation, we have a QR code. That QR code takes you to a page on our site, which is WordPress and Elementor integrated with Inflatable Office. And what I was showing you as I was learning to do it myself is how to set it up so that when somebody here at the trade show says, yes, I'm interested in XYZ, it creates a lead inside of Inflatable Office. And then what I did was I took that and I would do things like tags. I would tag that customer, right, about their interest. Mm-hmm. And so Inflatable Office, I set up emails that would filters that would catch that, and then emails that would be sent or text messages that would be sent out to that customer immediately. So it was really cool to see, people coming up here, scanning it, putting their information in, and all of a sudden, less than 5 minutes later, they get a text message saying, hey, thanks for stopping by. Check your email. We just sent you, a free ebook on do this business. So, Elementor is great, and we've been enjoying just leveraging it for our business as well. So,
how do I, just for the sake of people that'll be watching this video, how do I find that on your website to see the videos and self-help stuff?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's a videos link on our website, but if you want to see all of our videos, the best thing to do is go to youtube.com/InflatableOffice.
There you go.
We've generated enough content that they give us our own link, so you can go there. Click on the playlist. We have playlists about website stuff, probably a little more basic than what Dave is doing. I'm sure of it. But sort of things that Dave probably doesn't want to do. He's like, yeah, just go and learn that and tweak that stuff yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then a ton of other videos on our software. You guys, if you don't know this, we release new stuff like monthly, okay? Mm-hmm. We're always releasing new stuff. Like, it's not just new stuff. It's sometimes just updates to stuff that we currently have. So as an example, we do a lot of QuickBooks Online integration. Now inside of Inflatable Office, you don't need to call me and say, hey, I don't know if this lead went into my QuickBooks or not. We show you a QuickBooks icon right there with a link. You click that link, it's going to take you directly to your QuickBooks Online account and that invoice, okay? So we're not just making new features. We're always improving our stuff that's out there as well to make it work better for you guys.
That's really important. The QuickBooks connection, it just, people just don't realize how important that is to get that good integration, because that's one of the things, I hate to say it, being a web developer, we've got a crappy situation with our website. We're actually going to be launching a new one here very shortly if I can get one out of the video games. We are trying to do the new generation of websites. And one of the things that I have terrible trouble with is integrating my orders from online, because we do let people just go online and order an application and boom, we'll get it done same day. But integrating that with my QuickBooks, I got to go in and I got to re-enter it. And it's just a nightmare. And the fact that you guys have it all integrated into their platform is just a real time saver.
It's a huge time saver. We enter your inventory items. We enter your customer record. We create any accounts that need created in QuickBooks. We enter your invoice. We enter your payment. And then we keep that stuff all up to date for you. It just saves you a ton of time. Like I said, we use our own software for our software. So all of your subscriptions that are going into my own Inflatable Office account coming across to QuickBooks for me, so that it makes it easy when I have to go in there and do any accounting, which I
exactly. So listen, I appreciate you taking time. I know there's probably people standing in line waiting to talk to you right now, but I want to ask you one more thing. And now I just forgot what it was. This is great.
That's how it works,
Yeah, it was important too.
Got this really good question, and all of a sudden.
Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry. My mind was. I got a million things, and I know most of it's stuff that you and I need to talk next week, because there's just tons of stuff going on, and we have a tornado that we need to start working on. One of the things that I have a lot of questions about currently is people that are coming from other platforms and developing a process for swapping them over as fast and as easily as possible. That's going to be the big thing. And I know you guys have had some experience with that. If you can talk about, what that process looks like.
So one of our other owners here actually does a lot of that work, where whenever we're transitioning someone from another software, you guys have already put all that data in. You don't want to redo that. So we do our best to take what you've got and convert it and get it into InflatableOffice. Yes, you're going to have to still go through there. You're going to have to tweak things. You're going to have to improve on some things. There's a lot of things that we track that other places didn't. So you're going to have to fill in new information that you didn't do before, but it's going to make it a lot easier. For most of the platforms out there that you might be switching from, we have some really good automated processes to do that. We've also gone as far as making it possible for you to import stuff on your own. We have an import tool inside of our software. So if you have that data and you want to run the import on your own, you can. I would recommend, if you're coming from any software that is a party rental software that's out there today, check with us first. Most of our import stuff is going to work better than that tool. But you can use that tool, especially if you're doing stuff like on Google Calendar or a spreadsheet. That tool is going to work the same for you as what we can do for you. So check into that. It's a nice, easy way to do it.
Excellent.
But we convert and we move a lot of people over to our system. We're really good at it. I'm going to tell you, we're always honest. It is not easy to transfer software systems.
It's not. No.
And the biggest problem is you just have to relearn it. And so it's going to take you a little time, but I guarantee you, when you switch over, you're going to enjoy it because we're going to save you so much more time in the long run. And really coming to our system is probably harder than any other system, just because there's so many options there that you want to take advantage of that adds additional things that you might have to do. So I try to tell people, hey, don't try to do it all at once. Just do the minimum to start with. And then over time, you can tweak and improve that stuff as things go on. So,
any thoughts for the future for you guys to do customer meetings, conferences where people can come for in-depth training for InflatableOffice?
Yeah, we actually have a training page up on our website. If you want, we offer a couple different things. First of all, you can always schedule a free 1-hour training session online with us. That's just us and you, nobody else involved. We also do some things where you can come and visit us if you want. And so if you want to do that, there is a charge for that. We schedule that out, but you can come and visit us at our offices. You can also have us come to you. So if you have a big company and you want to pay to just ship one of us out there, we do offer that. All of those things are somewhat subject to our availability.
Sure.
We did in the past do some training. We didn't do it this year because of COVID and knowing that we weren't going to have a huge crowd down here. So, but we will be starting those back up. Probably this winter, we'll be doing some online ones, and hopefully in the future, probably around the IAAPA timeframe, we're gonna do some bigger training things. Okay.
Excellent. Well, Tim, thanks a lot, man, for doing it. It's been a great chat with you, and I'll look forward to talking to you really soon in the near future.
Sounds good, Dave. I always enjoy talking to you. You're a great guy. You do a great service for people. So keep up the good work. And I would like to talk to you. So at some point, get a hold of me. I have some questions for you that just this conversation sparked some questions for you. So secrets we can't talk about in front of everybody.
Yep, that's it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Tim. We'll see you later, man. Bye.